The oceans, covering 71% of our world, harbor the most mysterious and least explored regions of our planet. Although humanity has set foot on the moon and sent vehicles to Mars, we have only been able to explore 5% of the ocean floor. These immense bodies of water hold not only the source of life, but also the key to our future. Oceans are not just the home of fish and marine creatures, but also the regulator of our climate, the producer of half our oxygen, and the shelter for millions of species. So what is happening beneath this deep blue? How much do we really know about the oceans as humanity? And most importantly, what does the future of the oceans mean for our own future? The history of the oceans is as old as Earth itself. About 4 billion years ago, when our planet began to cool, water vapor condensed to form the first oceans. In these primitive waters, approximately 3.5 billion years ago, the first sparks of life appeared. Single-celled organisms began to multiply in the shallow waters of the oceans, and over time, photosynthesizing cyanobacteria emerged. These microscopic beings pumped oxygen into the atmosphere, transforming Earth's air and creating the necessary conditions for complex life forms to evolve. With every breath we take, we owe a debt to these tiny heroes from billions of years ago. The oceans not only served as the cradle of life, but also played a critical role in the development of civilizations. Since ancient times, people have traveled the seas, established trade routes, and developed intercontinental connections. The Phoenicians, Vikings, Chinese explorers, and Polynesian sailors crossed the oceans with courage, building bridges between cultures. The oceans have witnessed wars, discoveries, and economic revolutions that shaped the course of history. Even today, 90% of global trade is conducted by sea. The oceans function like the veins of modern civilization. However, the true magic of the oceans lies in their depths. When viewed from the surface, these seemingly calm and monotonous water masses actually host an incredible diversity of life forms. Scientists have identified approximately 230,000 marine species so far, but the actual number is estimated to be several million. Coral reefs have more biodiversity than tropical rainforests. In 1 square meter of coral reef, thousands of different species can coexist. Although these colorful ecosystems cover less than 1% of the oceans, they harbor a quarter of all marine species. The deep ocean floors open the doors to another world. In these regions where sunlight cannot reach and pressure measures in tons, believing that life could exist seems almost impossible. But the reality is quite the opposite. Ecosystems developing around hydrothermal vents harbor the most extreme life forms on Earth. These vents carry hot, mineral-rich water from deep within the Earth to the ocean floor. Bacteria capable of chemosynthesis use these minerals as an energy source and form the basis of a food web in the dark depths. Giant tube worms, blind crabs, ghostfish, and other strange creatures survive in these environments. This discovery revolutionized the scientific world because it showed that life could exist without needing sunlight. This finding reshaped the search for life on distant worlds like Jupiter's moon Europa or Saturn's moon Enceladus. Another vital role of the oceans is being climate regulators. The oceans absorb approximately 10 billion tons of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere annually. This represents about a quarter of human-caused carbon emissions. If the oceans did not perform this function, atmospheric carbon dioxide levels would be much higher and global warming would progress much faster. Ocean currents balance temperature worldwide. The Gulf Stream keeps northern Europe temperate, while the Humboldt Current carries cool waters to the South American coasts. These currents affect weather patterns, the fishing industry, and even agricultural products. However, the oceans are seriously suffering from humanity's industrial activities. Global warming is increasing ocean temperatures, leading to coral bleaching. Corals survive with symbiotic algae living inside them. When water temperature rises, corals expel these algae and turn white. If the temperature does not drop, the corals die. In the last 20 years, more than half of the world's coral reefs have been damaged or destroyed. Australia's Great Barrier Reef, despite being the planet's largest living structure, has suffered major losses from consecutive bleaching events. Ocean acidification is another silent threat. When excess carbon dioxide from the atmosphere is absorbed by the oceans, the pH of the water drops and acidity increases. This situation makes it difficult for shelled marine creatures to form their shells. Oysters, mussels, seashells, and corals struggle to survive due to increased acidity. If this trend continues, ocean food chains could be seriously disrupted. Plastic pollution is perhaps the most visible crisis facing the oceans. Every year, approximately 8 million tons of plastic waste enter the oceans. These plastics are carried by currents, forming massive garbage patches. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch, located in the Pacific Ocean, covers an area more than twice the size of Turkey. Although plastics break down over time, they never completely disappear. Microplastics travel from plankton to fish, from there to seabirds, and eventually to humans. Studies have shown that microplastics are found in human blood, lungs, and even placenta. The health of the oceans is directly our health. Overfishing also threatens ocean ecosystems. Industrial fishing vessels sweep the seabed with enormous nets, catching countless other creatures along with their target species. These bycatch deaths include dolphins, sea turtles, and sharks. Many fish species are being caught at rates higher than their reproduction rates. North Atlantic cod stocks nearly collapsed at the end of the 20th century and still have not recovered. Sharks are particularly vulnerable due to their slow reproduction. Every year, approximately 100 million sharks are killed for their fins. Sharks sit at the top of the ocean food chain, and their loss affects the entire marine ecosystem. But all is not lost. Worldwide, various initiatives are being implemented to protect the oceans. Marine protected areas are increasing in number and scope. In these areas, fishing is banned or restricted, and ecosystems get a chance to regenerate. Countries like Palau, New Zealand, and Chile have placed large portions of their coasts under protection. Research shows that fish populations in protected areas recover quickly and diversity increases. Innovative technologies also offer hope for the future of the oceans. Satellite imaging, artificial intelligence, and drone technology are being used to detect illegal fishing and monitor marine pollution. Scientists are seeking biological solutions to pollution by developing plastic-eating enzymes and bacteria. Ocean cleanup projects are trying to collect plastic waste using passive collection systems. The Ocean Cleanup Project, founded by Dutch inventor Boyan Slat, has extracted tons of plastic from the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Ocean research is also advancing rapidly. Deep-sea robots, unmanned submarines, and advanced sensors enable us to explore previously inaccessible regions. Hundreds of new species are discovered every year. Some are so strange they look like they came from another planet. The firefly squid glows in dark waters using bioluminescence. The goblin shark shoots its jaw forward to catch prey. The sea angel glides through the waters with its transparent body. These discoveries are opening new horizons in biotechnology, medicine, and materials science. Compounds obtained from marine creatures are being used in cancer treatment and antibiotic development. The oceans could also be the energy source of the future. Renewable energy technologies such as wave energy, tidal energy, and ocean thermal energy conversion are being developed. The immense kinetic energy of the oceans could provide an alternative to fossil fuels. Countries like Scotland, Portugal, and South Korea are testing these technologies and trying to commercialize them. If successful, the oceans will be not just a source of life, but also a source of clean energy. Another critical importance of the oceans is in terms of global food security. More than 3 billion people obtain a significant portion of their protein needs from seafood. Especially coastal communities and developing countries earn their living from the seas. Sustainable fishing practices can both protect ocean ecosystems and ensure food security for millions of people. Aquaculture, or aquatic farming, is a rapidly growing sector. However, sustainability is critically important in this field as well. Improperly conducted aquaculture can pollute coastal ecosystems and threaten local species. Having knowledge about the oceans is the first step taken to protect them. Education and awareness campaigns, especially targeting the younger generation, are essential for creating ocean consciousness. When people understand how the oceans affect their lives and how valuable these ecosystems are, they are more willing to take protective measures. School curricula, documentaries, social media campaigns, and community projects play an important role in this regard. Individual actions also make a difference. Reducing plastic use, choosing sustainable seafood, supporting ocean conservation organizations, and participating in beach cleanup activities are steps everyone can take. Consumer choices can influence corporations and governments. When people demand environmentally friendly products and sustainable practices, the market responds to these demands. Governments and international organizations also have great responsibilities. Stronger laws, more effective enforcement, and international cooperation are necessary to protect the oceans. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals include targets for ocean conservation. The Paris Climate Agreement aims to reduce the effects of global warming, which will also benefit the oceans. However, these agreements need to be implemented more effectively and ambitiously. Scientific research needs to continue and be supported. Understanding the oceans, monitoring changes, and developing solutions require continuous research. Deep-sea exploration, climate modeling, marine biology studies, and technology development need more funding and international collaboration. Universities, research institutions, private sector, and governments should work together in this field. The future of the oceans is uncertain, but not hopeless. If we act now, if we change our habits, if we make sustainable choices, we can protect these magnificent ecosystems. The oceans have an incredible capacity for regeneration. When given the chance, life returns, diversity increases, and balance is restored. Coral reefs can recover, fish populations can increase, and plastic pollution can be reduced. The oceans are not just a resource to be exploited. They are the lungs of our planet, the cradle of life, the regulator of climate, and our home. We are part of the oceans, and the oceans are part of us. The water in our bodies comes from the oceans. The oxygen we breathe is produced by the oceans, and the food we eat is nourished by the oceans. Our connection with the oceans is deep, ancient, and unbreakable. As humanity, we stand at a crossroads. One path leads to the continuous degradation and death of the oceans. On this path, coral reefs disappear, fish populations collapse, plastic pollution becomes uncontrollable, and climate change accelerates. This path ultimately leads to our own destruction because the future of the oceans is our future. The other path offers hope. On this path, we protect the oceans, adopt sustainable practices, develop innovative solutions, and work together globally. On this path, the oceans recover, life flourishes, and future generations can enjoy these magnificent ecosystems. This path requires courage, determination, and change, but it is possible. Every choice we make, every step we take, determines which path we will follow. The future of the oceans is in our hands. The deep blue waters that cover our planet are calling us. They are asking us to protect them, to respect them, and to remember that we are all connected to these ancient waters. The oceans have witnessed the birth of life, the evolution of species, the rise of civilizations, and the changes throughout history. Now, they are witnessing our choices. What legacy will we leave to future generations? Will we be the generation that destroyed the oceans, or the generation that saved them? The answer to this question lies in the choices each of us will make today, tomorrow, and every day thereafter. The oceans await our decision, with their deep blue waters, mysterious creatures, and endless horizons. And whatever we choose, the oceans will reflect that choice back to us, because ultimately we are not separate from the oceans. We are the oceans, and the oceans are us.